Hi everybody, good morning. As we are going to get right into things today, welcome to our total body circuit workout with myself, Tammie Barriage, the Fleet Fitness and Sports Instructor at PSP Halifax. So for today, just as we get started, as people start to trickle in and join us, I will get our verbal disclaimer out of the way. So in response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, and physical fitness level are unknown, and it is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician before beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document. If you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it is recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If Canadian Armed Forces members sustain an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CF98. So just a few other things to mention. As we get going today, feel free to play your own music in the background if that helps to motivate you. I do have a little bit of music going for myself here as well. Also just always listening to our bodies. So make sure that we do modify as we go as we need to. I'm just recommending the workout for us today. I'm going to hopefully guide you through to get a good sweat, but feel free to take it down wherever you need to. Or add challenge. If there's things where you have equipment, you have weight, feel free to add those in if you feel that will make your workout better. Okay? So as we get started today, I will just describe what we're going to get doing. If you did miss my verbal disclaimer, remember it is in the post for today's class, so feel free to read it there if you need to before we start. So going through, we're going to do a warm-up together. All we need today is our body weight. So we are just going to focus on that. But again, if you have those extra tools, feel free to use them. So if you do have dumbbells, kettlebells, anything like that, feel free to bring them in. We also just need a comfortable space, so our mat, okay? We'll go through and do the warm-up together, getting in some range of motion, slowly increasing, gradually getting that heart rate up. Then when it gets to our workout today, we're going to focus our circuit sets in upper, lower, and core movements. Okay, so we'll do one of each of those. And we'll go through each one for a time that I'll calculate for us, and then we'll go through for a total of 3 sets of each one before we move on. As we get going today as well, we're going to focus on slowing down our movements. So we aren't going to take very many breaks in between. Feel free to grab water as you need it. Take the break when you need it, but we will be trying to focus on continuous movement, just slowing it down and making it more purposeful. Okay? So let's get right into it. Without further ado, let's get started with our warm-up. So make sure you have your space, your water, your music if you need it. And we'll start with some arm circles. So if you can't see my board here, it is mostly for me to see to guide you through, but if you can see it, then you'll know what's coming next. As we start nice and big with our arm circles, we will eventually work into making them smaller. Getting a little bit smaller and smaller and smaller. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. So big, opposite direction. So we're just working through the shoulder joint, trying to gradually warm it all up, increase our range of motion, and smaller. Good. As we're going through, we'll do this a couple of times. So let's go back, opposite direction, nice and big. We're going to start to work on our core. So let's draw that belly button in towards the spine as we stay tall, going smaller, and creating our base, grounding through our feet to the mat, slight bend in the knee. Opposite direction. That's it. Just shaking it all out. I know it's going to be a hot day today, but we are inside and we are going to still sweat just as much in here. One more time, opposite direction. That's it, getting smaller. And opposite direction. And getting smaller. All right, shaking that all out, we are going to do some scat W's. So if you have a wall, feel free to press your back against the wall. But for now, we can also just do it standing here. We're going to draw our arms up, squeezing down, bending through the elbows. Draw the elbows in towards our sides. pressing back up, drawing it down. We want to keep our shoulder alignment, so keeping those shoulders away from the ears. That's it. Reach and then drawing down into our sides. Still continuing to build that base, so grounding our feet into the mat below us, into the floor, belly button in towards the spine. So trying to keep our alignment in mind as we go through these movements today. That's it. We'll just do 2 more. And 1 more. All right, moving right along. We're gonna go into sumo squats. Let's start working through the lower body. So our sumo squat, we take a wider stance, just a little further than hip width, toes out, heels in. Hands wherever we're most comfortable, if that's in front or to our hips. We're gonna send the hips back, releasing those hips towards the ground and then come back up. We do have some squats to work through today in our workout, so we're just gonna start working the lower body, getting ready for that. Really focusing on the hips, initiating our movement, starting to work those adductors, inner thighs. That's it. We don't have to go very deep to start. We are just working into our range of motion. That's it. Working through our movement pattern. Knowing that we're all different. Things may look different for each of us, but just focusing on what works for our body. Let's just do a couple more here. That's it. All right. Moving right along, our last one, Frankenstein, and then we're going to transition that into a single leg deadlift reach. So this is more for our mobility. We're going to focus on trying to get our leg out as long as we can, work that hamstring. Opposite hand reaches, coming back down, then reach towards that opposite foot. So we'll do the same sides first. Reach, and then down. Reach, and then down. So focusing on that hinge from the hip, getting that reach in front, then reaching down below. That's it. And then we'll switch sides in 3, 2, 1. Other side. So reaching in front first, then reach down. In front, then down. Good. That's it. Taking our time, trying to get that reach. No, it doesn't matter if we don't reach our foot. Maybe we're just a little extra tight today. I'm just working on that balance. 1 more. That's it. All right, coming back up. We're gonna get right into our first set, so grab that quick drink of water if you need it. Hopefully you're a little more warmed up, got those muscles ready to work. So we are gonna go through for timed sets. I will time it for us. Starting with our first one, we're gonna go upper lower core. We've got negative push-ups, pulse squat with side step, bear walk in, walk out. We're going 30 seconds per side, 45 seconds. That's kind of how it'll flow through all these sets. So we've got 3 sets to go of this first one. We're gonna start. So I'll start demoing and explaining, and then you jump in and practice, okay? So with our negative push-up, we're gonna focus on nice, slow movements, using all our energy towards all our muscles to make this happen. So let's find our placement. Remember, we always have modifications available. So if going from our knees is where we're at today, that is perfectly fine. We can go from there. Or we have the option to lengthen those levers, you go all the way from the toes. Either way, we're starting here, shoulders over wrists, fingertips forward, trying to draw those elbows in towards the body. Lowering down, nice and slow. Once we get to the bottom, we're gonna press back up to the knees or to the toes. Up to you. So slowly lowering. For 3, 2, 1. Coming back up to the knees or to the toes. Here we go. So get those practice sets in. That's it. Really slow, purposeful movement. Working on building that strength. Squeeze every single muscle. Really placing that demand to the upper body. All the way down. All right. Our 30 seconds is going to start now. I hope you're ready. Let's get into it. Negative push-ups in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Nice and slow, just for 30 seconds. Focus on that lowering of the movement. Engage that core, belly button in towards the spine. We should be taking at least 3 very slow seconds to get to the ground. 10 seconds to go. 5, 2, 1. Done. Awesome job. All right, now we're going into our pulse squat with side steps. So everybody up. So remember, I'll demo and explain and then try it with me. So finding our squat wherever that may be, whether it's hip width, maybe we need our toes out a little bit. We're gonna slowly lower, just like we did with our push-ups. So slowly lower. 1, 2, 3. Step out to the side, come back, lengthen up. 1, 2, 3. Same side step. In, come back up. 1, 2, 3. Trying to stay low. Step it out, back, up. So come along with me. 1, 2, 3. Step it out. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Step it out. Good. Let's try the other side. 1, 2, 3. So we are going to do one side for 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Then the other side. I'll let you know when to switch. So make sure we've got it on both sides. Ready? Going for 30 seconds per side. Let's do right side to start. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Back through those hips. Stay low. Find that step. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Low through those hips. Really take our time lowering into that depth of our squat, wherever it may be today. Almost there. 5 seconds to go. 2, 1. Switching sides right away. So 1, 2, 3. That's it. Low with that step. Sorry, my border collie wants to join us. 1, 2, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Step it out. There we go. Keep moving. We've got 5 seconds. Purposeful, slow movement. 2, 1. Done. Come on up out of that. Last exercise of this set, focusing on the core. We're going to get down into almost a tabletop position. So we'll start with our tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. From here, we're going to tuck our toes to the mat or floor below us. Lifting slightly, knees from the mat. Walking out behind, walking back into tabletop. So we're trying to keep our knees lifted the whole time. If we need to modify, take those knees down in between. Get a little rest. Okay? We are going for 45 seconds on this one. You've got this. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So 45 seconds, find that tabletop lift. Step it out, step it back in. That's it. Feel free to alternate which feet we step in with. That's it. Keep moving. Slow, controlled. Engage that core, belly button towards the spine. That's it. Core is our long one. Just try to keep moving with control. That's it. Find that step. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Awesome work. Hopefully we got that one without too much practice. Now it's gonna move a lot quicker. Let's get into that second set. We're going right back to those negative push-ups. Hopefully our arms had a little rest. Ready to go for 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go, second set. Find our push-up position all the way down slow. Once we get there, press back up. That's it, all about that slow descent. Drawing that belly button in towards the spine. Use those triceps. We've got 5 seconds from here. 2, 1, done. Right back up. Going for those squats. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. One side. Doesn't matter which side we start with. One side only. 1, 2, 3. Step it up with control. Stay low. 1, 2, 3. Stepping it up. That's it. Send those hips back. Back and low. Still getting that hip hinge. That's it. Almost there. 2, 1. Other side. Right away. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Step it up. 1, 2, 3. Keeping strong through that core. That's it. Just keep moving. Find that breath. 10 seconds to go. That's it. We're going to incorporate a lot of lateral work today, so we're just working our way in. 2, 1. All right, down to the mat we go. Time for those bear walk in and out. Hopefully you got it from that first set. Second set, finishing it off in 3, 2, 1. 45 seconds. Here we go. In and out. Finding that control. Keeping that back nice and flat, nice and even. As if we could balance a glass of water on our back. That's it. Find that breath. Try and alternate which feet we step in with. Here we go, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Second set done. Right back to the top. We're going for that third set. Push-ups, reset quickly. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go, last time here. Find that slow lower. As we start to fatigue, make sure we're still engaging every muscle to help us out. Make sure our hips aren't lifting up in the air as we descend. That's it, less than 10 seconds, let's go. 3, 2, 1. All right, back to those squats. Back up. Shake it out. Here we go. One side to start. 3, 2, 1. Send those hips back. Nice and slow. We're still working hard, even though we're slowing down our movements. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Slowly sitting back, finding that depth. Step it out, stay low. 3, 2, 1. Other side, here we go. That's it, right into it. No break just yet. Here we go. As we step out, try not to move the shoulders. Hinge back. Slowly lowering. 10 seconds, let's go. That's it. 2, 1. Squeeze that last one in and shake it out, reset. Awesome job, everybody. That's our first 3 sets done. Let's move right on. Set number 2 that we're gonna work through. Shoulder taps from our plank. Lateral leg lift to curtsy lunge, so getting that lateral movement in, and then getting into a straddle lateral leg drop. So for this one, going into our shoulder taps, we'll be down in our plank, so feel free to come down with me. Get used to the position. From our toes, if we choose, we're gonna tap opposite shoulder. If we need a wider base, widen those feet. Create a little more support. Tap that opposite hand to opposite shoulder. Trying to keep steady here, so draw that belly button in. Try not to move too much through the hips. We can also modify, take our knees down, kneeling plank version. Same thing, try not to move too much from side to side. So give it a try, find which version works for you. We're gonna get ready. Remember, we're here for 30 seconds to start. This is like our practice round. Let's get ready. Hopefully you know which version you're going from, toes or knees. Widen the feet as much as we need to. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds, let's go. Find that base, find that tap. Slow, controlled. We don't have to rush these taps. It's more important to create that base, keep that base. Trying not to move too much. That's it. Press back through the heels. For 3, 2, 1. Come on down out of that. Getting up into our lateral leg lift, curtsy lunge. So we're gonna go the same thing, one side to start, just like we did with our squats. 30 seconds per side. For these ones, find our space. We might need a little more space than we had last time. We're gonna go into a curtsy lunge behind, coming up, leg lift to the side. Curtsy lunge behind, leg lift. So give it a try. Stepping back, lift that leg. So we don't have to lift very high, just as high as we comfortably can. We're using both our adductors and abductors here, inner and outer thighs, using those glutes. That's it. Let's try on that other side. Create that space, step behind, come up to lateral, behind, lateral. So we're not gonna speed through. We're gonna take our time, focusing on our movements each time. All right, hopefully we have it. We're going for 30 seconds on one side in 3, 2, 1. Doesn't matter which side, one side only. That's it. There we go. Kick it out to the side. Stepping behind in that curtsy. That's it. Staying tall through that torso. We don't want to collapse the torso forward. Keep that core engaged. Less than 10 seconds, then we switch sides. That's it. For 3, 2, 1. Other side, right away. Curtsy first. Swing that leg out. That's it. Good. Slow it down as much as we need to. Purposeful movement. Working that lower body. Find that breath. Find that balance. For 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. All right, core work for this one. Straddle, lateral leg drops. So we're gonna come down onto our mat or the floor. We're gonna support ourselves with our forearms. So we're bending through the elbows. Then we're gonna bend through our knees, bringing them up. We don't want them directly bent here at 45. We want them slightly out, okay? Then we're gonna just drop, leg up towards the side, other leg. So we're trying to keep that core strong, keep it engaged. We're really working the legs to make this happen, but it's actually working our lower core. All right, hopefully we've given this a try. We've got the hang of it. We're going to start counting for 45 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Find that position. Knees are slightly bent, just so it's not as much of a demand on the hip flexors. We do want to focus on our abs here, on the core. That's it. We can lengthen those legs if we want it to be a little more challenging. One side at a time. 45 seconds total. That's it. Press that belly button to the spine still. Even though it's our legs moving, it's actually working our core. 10 seconds to go. Breathe through it. That's it. 2, 1. All right, come on up out of that. That's our first set done. We're going into that second set. Quick drink of water if you need it, but otherwise we're going to keep moving. So back to those shoulder taps for 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Find that plank from the toes or from the knees. Here we go. Nice and steady, nice and slow. We don't have to rush it. That's it. Press back through the heels. Try not to move side to side. We got this. Keep breathing. 2, 1. Out of that. Back up tall. Moving back to the lower body. Finding those curtsy lunges. One leg to start. 3, 2, 1. Curtsy back. Find that leg lift. That's it. Slow. We're not in a hurry. We want to target these muscles. We want to work the glutes. We want to work those abductors, adductors. That's it. It's all about moving, making sure we're doing it safely with a purpose. 2, 1. Other side right away. That's it. Step it back, then out. This is why we did those sumo squats in our warm-up. We got those adductors ready. 10 seconds. Find that balance. 2, 1. Back down we go. Core work time. 45 seconds here. We know what it looks like now, so we're going to go right into it. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. On those forearms, on those elbows. Legs up. As much of a bend through the knee as we may need to. Try not to make it all the work come from the hip flexors. Hip flexors will be involved, but we want to limit how much we're straining them. We want the strain to come from our core. That's it, just one side at a time. We're just reaching it out to the side. Keeping those toes pointed. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Back to the beginning. Last time through, let's move quick, let's get it done. Here we go, finishing off the second set. 3, 2, 1. Shoulder taps. Finding that plank from the toes or from the knees. With control. Not quickly tapping, just nice and slow. We're over halfway. Let's go. 5, 2, 1. Come on back up. Let's work those legs. Finding our curtsy in 3, 2, 1. Curtsy lunge. Leg lift. That's it. Finding that breath. Lengthening out. Keep moving. 10 seconds here. Hopefully you're as sweaty as I am. 2 seconds. And time. Other leg right away. Step it back. Lift that leg. That's it. Hips being the initiator for most of these leg movements. Sending us back. Sending our hips out. That's it. Breathe through it. For 3, 2, 1. Core to finish off. Let's get back down. 45 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Find that position. Legs up. Draw that belly button in towards the spine. Remember to breathe. That's it. If we hear our hips pop, that's okay. Just working at the joints, creating some movement. That's it. One side at a time. 10 seconds here. 2, 1. Come on up out of that. Take a quick drink of water if you need it as I start to explain our third set. So starting with our first movement, I explain and then we practice. Crab tricep dips. So we're actually in somewhat of a similar position that we just were, only this time instead of bending through the elbows to go down automatically, we're going to be from our hands. So if it's comfortable for our shoulders, if we have this range, we can have fingertips facing towards our toes, or we can open up the hands as much as we need to make it the most comfortable and safe for our shoulders. So really listen to the body on this one. We're going to have our legs out, knees bent, heels to the ground, but toes lifted. Then we're going to lift through our hips, so lean back into the hands, bending through the elbows and then working the triceps. Come back up. So these are crab tricep dips. We're going to go slow. If we find we don't have enough range, walk the feet out a little bit more. Toes up, lean back, bend. We're trying to lift through the butt, off of the mat. That's it. So practice here, make sure we have it. Then we'll go for 30 seconds. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Starting the time for real. So crab tricep dips, toes up, heels down, bend those elbows. That's it. Good. If our butt touches the ground in between, that's okay. Just find our range. 10 seconds. 2, 1. Up out of that. We're going into a reverse lunge leg lift. So I'm actually going to face this way just so you can see what I'm doing and so I have a little bit more space. So similar to what we just did with the lateral, only it's straight behind this time. So we're going to step it back into a reverse lunge, aligning that front knee and ankle in front of us still. From here, as we lift up, we're going to lift our leg behind. Come back down. Reverse lunge, lift up. Reverse lunge, lift. Reverse, lift. Let's try it on the other side as well. Step it back. Reverse lunge, lift that leg. Reverse lunge, lift that leg. So we're still keeping that tight, strong core, hinging from the hip. So now we've tried it on both sides. Let's start counting for real. 30 seconds per side. Let's get to our first side. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So step it back. Reverse lunge. Find that alignment. Lift. Reverse. Lift. Reverse. Lift. So take our time. We're not just throwing our body forward. We want to get that lift happening. Take our time in between. Slow it down as much as we need to. That's it. For 3, 2, 1. Other side. Switching sides right away. Find that reverse lunge. Lift behind. Reverse it. Find that lift. That's it. Find your breath. Find your balance. Keeping those shoulders squared. 2, 1. All right, now we're going right onto our core. Plank to pike, opposite foot reach. So for this one, we're gonna start in that plank position, but we're not gonna be there long. Right away, we lift through the hips, press through the heels. So it's similar to our downward facing dog. We're gonna reach back towards opposite foot, hand returns, reach back. So try it here with me. Plank, hips lift, opposite hand reach, plank, pike, reach, reach. So we're just reaching as far as we can. If it's not to our foot, that's okay. Just reaching it out. All right, hopefully we have it. We're going for 45 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Plank, hike, find that reach. Plank, shoulders aligned, hike, reach it out. That's it. Hips to the sky. Shoulders over wrists in between. Get that lift. Find that reach. It's more like an ankle reach. Opposite leg. 10 seconds, let's go. 2, 1, done. All right, back to the first part of our set. We've got that practice set done. We've got our reps, we know what's coming. Let's find that crab tricep dip. 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's get right into it. Hands back behind us. Toes up, heels to the mat. Lift through those hips. Draw down through the elbows. That's it. It helps if we lean into it. So almost press the knees towards the toes and then press back through the triceps. That's it. We're working that upper body. Only 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Come on up out of that. All right, getting ready. 30 seconds per side for those reverse lunges. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Stepping it back. Reverse lunge. Lift up. Reverse. Lift. Nice and slow. With control. Find that balance. We want that alignment every time. Knee through our feet. Knee through toes. That's it. 10 seconds. Reverse lunge, then lift. For 3, 2, 1. Other side right away. Find that reverse first. Find that alignment, then lift from there. That's it. Make those hips work. Hips initiate. Just over 10 seconds to go. For 3, 2, 1. All right, back down for our core. Second time through. 45 seconds. Plank to that pike. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Find that plank first. Lift to that pike. Find that reach. If the reach is too much, stick to our kneeling plank and go to a child's pose. So kneeling plank, child's pose. Just going between the two. Know that we have options. That's it. More important to work on our alignment, work on what works for our body. Just about 10 seconds here. Get those hips lifted to the sky. We are finding that pike. 2, 1. Done. Back to the beginning. Last time through on our second last set. Let's get this done. Back to those crab tricep dips for the last time. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Find that placement. Heels digged in and toes lifted. Lean into those triceps. Walk those feet up further if we need to. Find our range. Find our space. That's it. Sink into it. 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. Time to work those legs. 30 seconds per side. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Step it back first. Reverse lunge, then lift. Reverse, lift. Breathe. Work those glutes. Make sure it's the glutes working to find that lift. 10 seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Other side right away. Reverse first, then lift. Still aligning that front knee and ankle, front knee and toes. That's it. Last time on these. Strong, purposeful movement. In 3, 2, 1. Last time for those plank to pike. Remember to choose our modifications. 3, 2, 1. From the knees of the toes, up to you. That's it. Always working towards that alignment. Shoulders over wrists. Still drawing that belly button in towards the spine. Strong placement through the heels. So as we drop forward, we're pressing back through the heels, then lifting through the heels and pressing down towards the mat. For 3 seconds. 2, 1. Done. It is time for our last set. We are almost there. One more set to work through. We're going to start with an incline plank or tabletop. Quick grab a water break if you need it now while I explain, and then we're going to practice. So incline plank or tabletop. Options up to you. We can do the same positioning we just had for those crab tricep dips with our hands, or take the hands out if that's more comfortable, or back if that's what works for our shoulder joint. Listening to the body. We're going to keep the legs straight this time, lifting through the hips, point down through the toes. That's our incline plank. Other option, tabletop. Bend through the knees, still lifting through the hips, this time trying to find that evenness through the torso. So pick whichever version works for you. This time we're doing a hold for 30 seconds. So we're getting that isometric movement. So lack thereof movement. Focusing on this one. Make sure we find which one works for us. Is it that plank or is it the tabletop? We're gonna go for real in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 30-second hold. Hips to the sky. Keep them lifted. Whether we have our knees bent or our legs long, we're just holding strong. Try to keep them up towards the sky as much as we can. 2, 1. Out of that. Forearms supported opposite hand to toe. So some people may have done this with me before. We're going 30 seconds per side. So for this one, we're going to be down on our bent elbow, forearm here. We have our back leg bent, knee bent, foot to the ground. So get ready, try this one with me. We're over on our side as much as we can be so that we're working the legs, especially the abductors, to move that leg. So we're going to lift, tapping opposite hand, opposite toe, come back down. Try not to fall back or fall forward in between. We want to keep this positioning, keep strong here through the center. Find that reach. So trying it here, switch to the other side, try it there. Make sure we have it on both sides. We're going for 30 seconds per side. Let's get ready. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So on the side, knee bent, foot planted behind us for support. Opposite hand, opposite toe. Find that reach. That's it. We should feel it through our adductors as well. Abductors, action, movement. That's it. 10 seconds, then we switch sides. Find that reach. For 2, 1, other side, right away. Find that bent knee behind, on our side, find that reach. That's it. Good, just keep kicking up. If we need to bring that hand down a little, find that reach. Try to keep our positioning. That arm is supporting us to stay steady. For 3, 2, 1. Core to finish off, modified hollow hold. So for this one, challenge is up to you. We can stick with the modified version. Belly button press to the mat, very important. Arms to our sides, palms face up, bringing the legs up. Again, we're finding that positioning that's slightly off, so not that 90 degree, but more that 45. Pressing here, slight lift through the shoulder blades, through the head, but we're pressing that belly button to the mat. If we want that extra challenge, lengthen all the way. Hollow body, arms can even go overhead. But we have that option to stay here. So find which one works for you. We're going for 45 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Modified or full hollow body. Pressing that back into the mat. Very important to remember to breathe. That's it. Demanding that strength from our core, working these holds. Keep pressing that belly button down. 15 seconds right here. Then we know what to expect from this last set. We're just going to go through 2 more times. We can do this for 5, 3, 2, 1. Come on up out of that. All right. Back to our incline plank tabletop. We're moving right along. We know what to expect. Let's make this happen. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds here. Find that plank or tabletop. Hips to the sky. We've got our hold. Engage those glutes. Lift, lift, lift. We're demanding from our shoulders. Halfway. Continue to lift. 10. 3, 2, 1. Come on up out of that. All right, getting into our leg reaches. Onto that forearm. 30 seconds per side. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. That's it. Work that leg. Just one side at a time. Second time through this last set. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Other side. Here we go. Find that reach. Still slowing things down, still purposeful, still not rushing even though we're so close to the finish. 10 seconds here. 2, 1. Core to finish off. Modified hollow hold. It's the hard one, but we can do this. It's good for us. 3, 2, 1. Find that hollow body, whether you're sticking with the modified today or adding that extra challenge of the full, your call. Pressing that belly button to the spine. Press it into the mat. Find that semi-crunch position. And remember to breathe. This finishes off our second set. Once we're done here, then we've only got one more to go. Then it's cool down. Less than 15 seconds, only 10 seconds. Here we go. For 3, 2, 1. Out of that. Let's get this done. Finish it off here. Finish strong. Last time through. Incline plank or tabletop. Even if we picked one version before, we can still change it up. 3, 2, 1. Find what works. Ten seconds down, 20 to go. Keep those hips up. 10. 3, 2, 1. Last time there. All right, let's get into those leg reaches. Finishing it off. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds per side. That's it. Find that reach. So even though our arms there supporting us, we're not leaning too much into it. We are keeping our strong positioning. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Other side. Right away. That's it. One thing to the next. Let's finish strong. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, this is it. Our modified hollow body to finish. In 3, 2, 1. 45 seconds here. Find that modified hollow body. Just 45 seconds and we're done. Cool down after this. So pressing Bring that belly button towards the mat. Find that semi-crunch and breathe. We're almost there. 15 seconds. For 5, 3, 2, 1. Done. Awesome work, everybody. Let's finish with a nice cool down. Let the heart rate come back down. Shake everything out. So we're going to start with a nice forward fold, keeping in mind that we want to ease into this. So we're going to hinge from the hip and just reach to here for now. We can stay right here if this is enough and we feel that stretch through our hamstrings, or we can choose to reach all the way down, just keeping aware of our blood pressure, making sure that we don't get lightheaded, and slow down that breath. So we're just going to keep this hinge from the hip, try and stretch through the hamstrings, through the legs. We worked the legs hard today, so try to give that relief, stretch it all out, very important. And just slowly start to come back to that breath. Just reaching as far as we comfortably can. And slowly come back up out of that, shaking it out. All right, let's stretch out those hip flexors, and we'll also do a double stretch, stretching through the arms as well. So we're gonna take it out to our lunge, and then release that back knee so we find our low lunge. We can even release the toes. So we'll just align ourselves here, front knee over ankle. And then we're gonna lengthen up through the torso to push forward from that back hip. I know we've probably done this a lot of times in all these classes, but really focusing on that push from the hip, getting deep to the hip flexor. From there, lengthening it up, settling through the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears, find that reach. And letting that go, we'll come to the other side. Just from here, we'll take that knee down, opposite leg forward. Pushing forward from that back hip. And then if we choose, when we're ready, lengthening up. Stretch, draw down through those shoulder blades. Finding that breath. And shake that all out. Now we're going to go into a quadricep stretch. So a few versions of this one. We can do this one laying on our side just for more support, different version. So just laying here, bottom leg stretched out for support. We're going to bend that top knee and try and reach back for the ankle. We want to keep our legs as close together as possible, knee pointing down, really still pushing forward from the hip to try and get it all through the front, our quadricep here. We're trying to ideally hold our stretches for 30 seconds each, just to get the most out of them. And shake that out, come to the opposite side. Same thing, so bottom leg for support, lengthened out, bend through that top knee. Hopefully everybody got a good sweat today. Now you can go out and enjoy the sunshine. A good full body, total body circuit. And let's finish off with just a child's pose, and we'll do a variation for our arms, our upper body. So for this one, we're going to focus on sending those hips back towards the heels. Take the knees as wide as they may need to go, creating our own space. Reaching all the way in front. So it's like we're trying to draw our body in both directions. All the way forward, all the way back. And then from here, we can choose to do that variation for our shoulders. Reaching off to one side at a time. So we'll reach as far as we can to one side, still sending the hips back. So we should feel that gentle pull through the posterior delt, through our lats maybe, even the traps, on that top arm side. Back through the middle, we'll reach to that opposite side to finish off. Same thing, just opposite side. Back through the center, bring it back in, shake it all out. Awesome work, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. See you next time.